We still hustle daily. What's going on, Hustle Nation? Welcome back to another video. It's your boy Big Play Ray coming to y'all with another video today. Make sure you hit that like button. That button that looked just like this. It looked just like this. I promise you it do. Not the one that looked like this. This the one that looked like this. Oh, now I see what I gotta do. If I come back, then y'all can see it. Okay, got you. Hit the like button, comment, subscribe. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rock with me, man. Y'all already know what's going on. I'm about to get right into it. How she got kicked out on Thanksgiving. Let's listen to it, man. Appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all follow me on Instagram at the top of the screen. Let's go.
I got kicked out by my parents on Thanksgiving, and I'm going to tell you the story of what happened, why I'm not upset about it. In 10 minutes, I'm going to make everything in this video from my point of view, because, you know, obviously my parents probably have a different point of view than the point of view that I have. The tiniest bit of backstory. My dad abused me and my siblings mentally, physically, and verbally all throughout my childhood. I'm so traumatized by stuff that happened. Even if it wasn't that bad to other people, I don't really have any memories until the age of 8 or 9. Like, my earliest memories are when I was like in 3rd grade, and a couple memories from first grade. None of this is to diminish their character, so I won't be saying anybody's name or anything like that. Auntie, I know you watch some of my videos, so if you're watching this and you listen to it all the way through, I'm really sorry that you had to find out that this is what we have endured throughout our childhood. You're free to call and ask me any questions. Let's get started, shall we? And a lot of people may be wondering why I'm making this video. I feel like I have been through so much, and I'm not even 20 years old yet. I have 30 more days of being a teenager. I feel like I could write a documentary of all the things that I have been through. So I just need to get it out, you know? So, for Thanksgiving break, you have to pay if you want to stay in your dorm, so I did have to go home. I put home in quotation marks because living there has never really felt like a home to me. It's just a place where I ended up residing. So for Thanksgiving break, my Nana, which is my godmom, she picked me up, and she was supposed to be going out of town for Thanksgiving, like that whole entire week from Monday, and she wasn't coming back until Friday. But I didn't want to be at home for a whole entire week. So I was like, my siblings, because I'm the older sister, my siblings didn't get out of school until the day before Thanksgiving and the day after Thanksgiving. So I was like, okay, I'm going to just go home the day before Thanksgiving because I didn't want to be at home by myself. And my mom don't work on Monday, so I didn't want to be at home with just her on Monday. So I was just like, okay, I'd rather just stay at my Nana's house. So on Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving, my uncle, my Nana's son, took me to my parents' house, and yeah. When I got in there, my mom was like, finally, what, you didn't want to come over here or something? And the answer to that question was yes, I didn't want to come over there. If it was up to me, I would have it really was up to me, but I be people pleasing, and I didn't want to make my mama upset or have her asking me questions as to why I wasn't staying at the house. Like, I don't feel like explaining myself and hurting people's feelings. So I just was going to endure staying there for the days until I needed to go back to school. But when she asked me that, I was like, no, that's not the reason, even though, in fact, it was the reason. So then she had to work on Thanksgiving because she worked at a hospital. So we had to prep things because we wanted to have dinner at the house. So I helped her cut the sweet potatoes. She was making the dressing, and she made the greens. And the plan was I was just going to call her and see what time I was supposed to put the dressing in the oven. She also had made this cake, and I had stayed up until almost 2 a.m. because the cake, we needed it to cool down before we could put the icing on it. She had work in the morning, so she asked me, could I stay up to ice the cake or whatever? And I was like, yeah. So I stayed up, I iced the cake or whatever, I washed the dishes, and even after I had went back upstairs, she was like, can you send a picture? I went back downstairs, took a picture and everything. And I had no problem with it. I was 100% okay with it. So since I didn't didn't go to sleep until almost 2 a.m. I was in the bed until I slept in a little bit. My granny had ended up calling me at like 10 a.m. while I was still asleep. I saw it and I put the phone back down, because it was so random. Like, I was going to see her later on that day, and she never calls me, so I didn't know what that was about. But later on, she told me she was calling me so I could see my uncle. And I just feel like that. I don't know if I really trust that was true or not, because whenever she go visit my uncle, she never calls me. So I don't know what made her decide to do it that day, or so she claims. I'm not gonna lie. To this day, I don't believe her. So then I ended up getting up. I got dressed or whatever, and I put the dressing in the oven. So later on, it's Thanksgiving now. It's the evening of Thanksgiving. My mama is off of work. Everything is still cool and dandy. I'm making the gravy. My sister is washing the dishes. My mom is making the macaroni. And then my granny, who is my dad's mom, is on the island cutting the green peppers for the lamb chops. So I think I was the one who initiated the thought of cream of wheat. I really don't remember how that came to be. But I just remember I brought up cream of wheat, I believe. And then my sister ended up telling this story of cream of wheat that was in regards to my dad. And when it comes to my dad, my mom defends him to the ends of the earth. It don't matter. It's all, your daddy didn't do this, or he didn't, blah, 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 blah. Like, it's no point in trying to get her to see your point of view, because when it comes to him, she not hearing none of that. So whenever I say something about him, even though he's my father, she always be going to bat for him, and I'll be like, and the point don't be for me to win. I'll be wanting her to hear my point of view, and she don't be listening to that. So I had to learn a long time ago, when it comes to that, shut up. Don't go back and forth with her. But my younger siblings, I feel like they fail to realize that sometimes. So my sister, who was washing the dishes, and she said that story, my mom was like, no, I'm sure he didn't mean it like that. He was do-do-do-do. And then she said something else, and then my mom was like, no, do-do-do-do. And I'm already noticing. I'm like, okay, mama is going to keep going. Like, if Camille say something else, mama going to say something else. And then here go my granny telling me something. Yeah, I don't feel like y'all dad would. Girl, why are you commenting? So now I just feel like it's 2 against 1. So I just literally turned around to my sister, and I looked at her like, basically telling her to be quiet and cut it out. She looked at me and she understood what I meant, so she stopped talking. She kept washing the dishes. I turned my head back around. I kept making the gravy. And from my peripheral vision, I saw that my mom had looked at me, but I left it alone. So then I was texting this group chat that me, my brother, and my sister have, and I was telling them, when it comes to mama, and when she discussing daddy, like, don't go back and forth with her, because you're not going to win. She's just going to keep going. Like, just zip it. And when it comes to daddy, just don't argue with him at all, because you're never going to win. I was like, just laugh or something. If you want to do something, just laugh to piss him off. But in reality, you shouldn't laugh. You shouldn't. But sometimes you have to, because the stuff that he be saying, he just feel like he be the smartest person in the world. And I just be like, no. So anyway, my brother had ended up asking me, like, why did I say that? And I was like, well, because what happened with my sister. And he was like, well, what happened? And I was like, okay, I'm going to tell you in a minute. So I finished making the gravy. Okay, now we all done cooking. I don't know where my mama had went. I think she went to the bathroom. My granny sitting on the couch now, and my sister done washing the dishes. So I take the 2 of them upstairs, not to talk stuff about my mom, but to tell my brother what happened, and literally to advise them. When it comes to them, do not argue. Do not argue with them. You're not going to win. Like, if you go back and forth, they going to keep going back and forth. And even if you don't go back and forth, they going to keep saying their stuff, but just let them talk. It's going to be over soon enough. Like, this is how I survived. Let them say their stuff. Whenever they done, just walk away and don't think about it no more. And my brother, he was like, I just feel like this house be against me sometimes. And me and my sister was like, we don't feel like the house is against you. They just be on your head because you don't have a job. I feel like things would be better if you got a job. And he was like, yeah, things was better when I had a job, and do. So next thing you know, he pointed at the door, and my mama was right there. I'm not upset or nothing because I didn't say anything wrong, I don't feel. She was like, what y'all up here saying and do. And I was like, oh, I was just telling them, like, when it come to you and daddy, don't argue with y'all, just let it be. She was just like, no, that's not all you said. I heard you say da la 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 la. And I was like, oh yeah. And we all re-explained everything that we meant by what we said. She just kept staring at me like she felt like I was lying. And I was like, I don't know what else you want me to say. Like, I just gave you clarification about what happened, and you still upset. I wanted to make one video. I might have to make like a small part too. But then I was just like, well, you always tell me when me and you be speaking one-on-one that I need to advise them. And now that I'm doing that, you have a problem with it. She was like, no, Maury, because... And I was like, okay, Mama, you're right. You got it. Because I don't like tension and stuff like that. So, as I was previously saying, my mom just kind of felt like we were lying. So she kept asking us one-on-one, like, not one-on-one, but like one by one. Okay, but I heard you say this, like, what did you mean by this, and do. And even after we re-explained everything that we said and what we meant, she still was just looking at us like she didn't believe what we were saying. Which, even now, I still can't understand how she felt like we was talking stuff about us. Like, she swore up and down she was on the steps and she could hear everything we were saying. So if you could hear what we were saying, and we're re-explaining everything, I'm not sure why you're upset if you heard what we said. And even after that, she was asking my sister, she was like, but I was just saying, like, your dad probably didn't mean do. And my sister was like, but Ma, you weren't there, so you don't know, and blah, 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 blah. And my mama just kept going and defending my dad. Like my sister just said, you weren't there. So how are you trying to defend him and you weren't there? Like, she just always tried to defend him. And it wasn't even nothing to defend him for. It's not like my sister was saying stuff bad about him. She was just telling a story that had to do with cream of wheat, since I had brought up cream of wheat. And she was just like, well, but what was it to have a conversation about? Like, it wasn't that serious. And I was like, yeah, I know. Which is why I couldn't understand why she was blowing everything out of proportion. She was like, well, what did you come up here to talk privately about it for? Well, the point was to speak privately about it because my mama always feels left out. Anytime we be having a conversation and she come downstairs, she be like, what? What y'all say? What y'all talking about? Like, we weren't talking to you, so why are you trying to jump into our conversation? And that is very annoying in itself, but I don't like feeling left out either, so I can understand, but I'm not about to just jump into some people's conversation just because I walked into the room. So then she was like, y'all always act like y'all know what I'm gonna say and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, we do. Like, she'd be like, yeah, I don't. I'm like, just like you be knowing what we about to say sometime. We have known you just as long as you have known us, and you're a person. You can read my behavior and my expressions just like I can read your behavior and your expressions. Like, we're people. Just because you're an adult doesn't mean that you're not still human. You still have the same human tendencies. You still react the same way that I will react to certain stuff. Like, we're people. She was, and I guess she was like, girl, what or whatever. And at this point, my dad was behind her. So she still was just looking at me. And she finally walked away and went downstairs. So my dad, he stood at the doorway for a couple more seconds, and then he ended up going downstairs. So now he downstairs asking my mama what happened. My mama telling him what happened. I went downstairs so I could get my iPad, which I had down there because I was helping my mama cook Thanksgiving dinner. And when I went back upstairs, all I heard was how my dad was saying that we pathetic and that we not gonna be nothing and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. I'm walking around with a chip on my shoulder thinking I know something. The usual, him belittling us. Now, I can't for the life of me figure out why my sister and my brother went back downstairs. And they just ended up getting caught in a crossfire. I went back upstairs because I didn't want to deal with it. Now, the only reason I didn't go back downstairs to defend my siblings is because I was like, I'm a guest. They're going to kick me out. And I don't really have anywhere to go. So I know when to go to bat with them. And I never really argue with my parents. Whenever my mama say something, I'll be like, I just say, okay. And that's literally what I was telling my brother and sister to do. Like, don't argue with them. Just say, okay. And my mama just still felt like we were talking stuff about her. I don't know why she felt so antagonized. So I was just listening. And after hearing my dad and his girlfriend talk, because they're not married anymore, even though they like to pretend that they still are. I don't know why my TV just turned on. But after hearing them call us pathetic and cowards and a whole bunch of other names, I called my uncle and was just letting him know, like, hey, I need to leave. And he was enjoying his Thanksgiving, so he told me that I could just come tomorrow in the morning and just let him know when I was on the way, because I told him that I would get an Uber because I didn't want him to get involved in my family drama. Because him and my dad used to be friends, which is how he's my uncle. He's one of those uncles that's not blood related. It's just one of your parents' close friends type of thing. So he told me I could come in the morning, and I was like, okay, cool. I'm coming bright and early, 7 a.m. And I didn't want my mama to know where I was going. So, I turned my location off. Now, that's on me. That is on me. I should have waited until I left to turn my location off. I'm 20 years old, and I didn't go a lot of places when I was a teenager because every time I asked my parents for something, they always made me feel like it was a burden or like I was doing too much for asking for something that I feel like a parent should do, like take me to work. She told me, like, I don't give a F if it's down the street, like, do. And I never asked her to take me to work after that because, okay, keep that same energy. Like, it's such a problem for you to be a mom and take me to work when you know I don't have my license, let alone a car. So I won't ask you anymore. You don't have to worry about it. It's fine. And I never asked her to take me to work again. Or to pick me up from work. Only time I ever asked her to pick me up from work is when I got my period and I would be throwing up. I'd rather throw up in my parents' car rather than throw up in a stranger's car. So yeah, Mom, you're gonna have to come pick me up. So, now my youngest brother, he came upstairs and he asked me for something. And I was like, wait, did you eat? He was like, yeah. I was like, did everybody eat? Because that had happened at 4:45, the little argument. It wasn't an argument to me. That's why I wasn't upset. And now at this time, it was 7 p.m. And I was like, I don't understand why the food not ready and why nobody told us to come eat. And he was like, yeah, everybody ate. And I'm like, oh, so she being petty and ignorant. Cool. So then me and my siblings, we was like, okay, we don't want none of us to be attacked alone, so we all gonna go downstairs and eat together, because my parents are the type to come back and have something else to say, which my mama did end up coming back and having something else to say. So we all ate, and I'm not gonna even talk about what the meal was, because Thanksgiving, I should have went to go to somebody else's house. And the only reason I didn't call one of my friends to come to their house, that Thanksgiving is a family holiday, and I didn't want to burden none of my friends with the issues that I was going through with my family. So I was like, okay, let me just call my uncle again, because he more understanding. He would be more understanding since he an adult, rather than having to explain to my friends and their parents why I need to stay here for the night. So we all ate dinner or whatever, and after that, I went right back upstairs, and I decided to just stay in the guest room. My bags weren't even fully unpacked. Like, I literally only took out the big t-shirt that I slept in and the outfit that I wore for Thanksgiving. Nothing else was unpacked. Sure enough, around 9 p.m., I left out something. Then my brother had told me that Mama was downstairs crying or whatever, and when my dad asked her what was wrong, she was like, Messiah this, Messiah that. Then she left the house saying that she needed time alone or alone time. Okay, I didn't understand that. You're the one that just made your kids cry by calling them pathetic and cowards and everything else. How are you the one crying? I don't understand. But you know that's what narcissists do. And then she finally came back, changed into her pajamas or whatever, and then around 9 p.m., she came into the guest room, and I had my headphones on, so I didn't hear her, but I saw her shadow, which is how I knew someone was speaking to me. I took my headphones off. I'm not mad. Keep this in mind. I am not upset. I don't feel I did anything wrong. In my mind, all I was doing was giving my siblings some advice and defending my parents, telling my siblings, don't argue with them, please. She was like, "Can y'all kill me blocking somebody when y'all mad?" And I was telling her I didn't block you. She was like, "So why I can't see your location?" And I was like, "Well, because I unshared my location. You don't want me to see your location?" I think that's what it means if somebody unshares their location, but I mean, what do I know? I was like, "No." She was just like, "It's the same thing." I was like, "It's not. Like, you can still call and text me. You just can't see my location." She was like, "You don't have to talk to me no more then. Like, do. I already have 3 kids." And that is what made me egg it on, because that is the only thing that happened that actually hurt my feelings. She was like, "I'm not finna pamper y'all or do. And I was like, "Well, then don't." Then she walked up on me, basically told me to shut the F up and that I could get out. She don't care if I didn't have nowhere else to stay. And I was like, okay, cool. So I started packing up my stuff. She went downstairs, heard my dad and my granny talk stuff about me, saying how I was fake and I don't know how to socialize and all this other stuff and how I could stay in a shelter. And the next day, my dad had texted me telling me to get the rest of my stuff out of his house.
Yo, this is a shame. Now I know this girl is 18. You know, you're a grown woman at 18, but I do think that people need a they need a head start. Let's just say that a head start. This young lady says she don't got no car. She says she got a job, so it's probably like a regular job. It ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because if she don't even got no car, no license, she should in fact start working on these things. But it's a shame when parents are like this, man. Like I tell y'all, I told y'all before, I am grateful to have the mom that I have. You know what I'm saying? I was able to get a head start. I did have to buy my own vehicle and things of that nature because my parents did not have the funds to just buy me a car, right? But I got a head start as far as I think she mentioned she paid rent. Like I didn't have to pay rent or anything like that, so I was able to save some money. Well, my first car was only $500, and it gave me some problems, but eventually, But I did have a car, and I was driving to and from school at 17. But it's a shame when your parents act funny towards you, so you're not able to get the head start. A lot of I'm just telling you guys this before some of you guys be in the comments like, well, you grown, this, that, and the third, go on and get out. I understand that she is grown, but at the same time, I do feel like people need a head start. Her job probably ain't nothing. She probably work at a regular job, a store or a fast food restaurant or something like that. So it's a shame when you can't get that head start from your parents and they talking to you like this and telling you you can live in a shelter and all of these types of things. That's bad. Or I got 3 other kids and all of this. I really do feel like some people should just not be parents. Parents are not cut out for everybody. Being a parent is not cut out for everybody, man. I'll never be like this towards my kids. I'm gonna make sure they get a head start in life. She doesn't seem like a disrespectful young lady. We just hearing one side of the story, like she said. But she do see the fact that okay, I can't talk to my mama about this. I'ma just shut the fuck up. Let me tell my other siblings to shut the hell up when mom's is going off. You know what I'm saying? Which is a good thing. This is what you should do. But sometimes you got people like I say who shouldn't be parents, and they'll just keep on egging stuff on and nitpicking and stuff like this. I know parents. I know parents like this. Some of my friends' parents like this who they're not going to take you to work even though you're trying to get a job. Like you done finally found you a job. I know motherfuckers who won't even get a kid their social security number so they can get a job. It's just a lot of weirdness going on out here. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully this young lady can get her stuff together to where she can figure. Look like she's in a place now, but hopefully she can find somewhere to go and get that jump start on starting her life up. You know what I'm saying? Because man, I couldn't imagine having a parent like this, man. I really appreciate my parents for allowing me to, cause I stayed in my crib. I'm 33 right now. I stayed in my mom's crib, man, till I was like 26. 26 is when I first moved out. Fell on hard times. Moved back in when I was 28. something like that. Yeah, 28, and now we bossed up. You feel me? So I'm just grateful to have the parents that I had and that I have, and I wish this young lady, nothing but the best in her journey. You know what I'm saying? It's a shame that you got parents like this. Like I say, some people shouldn't be parents, man. Some people just, I don't know. Some people just heads just fucked up. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully y'all, if y'all got some kids, y'all, great parents to y'all kids, and y'all can try to not y'all now. If they a disrespectful ass little motherfucker, then that's something different. But for those kids that seem like who got their head on their shoulders and stuff like that, hopefully y'all can help y'all kids out and help them get a head start in life, so they won't just jump out there and struggle. You know what I'm saying? So sorry she had to go through that. Wish her nothing but the best. Y'all drop a comment and let me know what y'all think about this situation in the comments below. Telling your 19, 20-year-old that they can go to a shelter is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, I'll never be that type of parent to my son. We putting it in the universe. Big Play Ray gonna have a son, y'all. I'm trying to tell you. I'm putting it in the universe. Y'all hear me say that shit damn near every video. We definitely God gonna bless me with a son. And again, Lord, I thank you in advance for my son. I appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with me as always, man. Make sure y'all smash that like button. This one. Not this one. This one. Appreciate y'all, man. It's your boy Ray, Big Play Ray. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. Peace.